The Radio Memories Network is brought to you in part by Liberated Syndication, podcast publishing made easy, libsyn.com. That's libsyn.com.
Welcome to the Old Time Radio Network Detective Stories, continuing America's love affair with private eyes. We now go back to the early days of radio and our imaginations with our feature presentation.
Being a private investigator means two things. You can be sure you'll run into trouble, and you can never be sure you can get out of it. Well, there's not much you can do about it, I guess. Except, like Julie always says...
Walk softly, Peter Troy.
And now, Peter Troy investigates the Vanquished Venus. Julie has everything, I guess. Figure like a Follies girl, eyes that can make you dream of faraway places. The most luscious lips you ever saw. And she can take dictation at 120 words a minute. She also has a set of rules specifically designed to keep erring private eyes on the straight and narrow. You'll meet her again because she guards the outer office of my sanctum with all the devotion of a tigress at bay. But for the moment, I want you to think of another girl. A girl who'd take you gently by the hand, lead you headlong into a bubbling cauldron of real trouble. Her name was Mary Struby, only you'd know her as Leona Laramie. And brother, where Mary went, applause was sure to follow.
Thank you. And very soon, ladies and gentlemen, the judges will decide the name of the lucky lady who will be crowned Miss London Town of 1962. Now, please stand by, and in a moment, the judges will announce the winner.
That's a foregone conclusion, Colligan. Leona Laramie will win this contest hands down.
None of the other girls come anywhere near her for looks and poise.
The judges don't even have to swap ballot tickets. Leona's got it in the bag.
Uh-huh. And if Amalgamated Studios will let her, she'll go on and win the Miss Universe contest next year. Leona's got everything.
What a girl.
You can say that again.
Decision, Mr. Colligan.
Thanks.
Well,
What do you think?
Leona Laramie, eh?
Uh-huh. Come out, Miss Leona Laramie.
Well, where is she?
Miss Leona Laramie.
Mr. Colligan, sir.
Yes, what is it? What's going on back there?
There's been some trouble.
What sort of trouble?
Something happened to Miss Laramie?
Yes, she's dead, sir.
What?
She's dead, sir. Someone's killed her.
So Mary Struby, alias Leona Laramie, never got to collect her fabulous prizes. They found her backstage, lying in a dark corner. Someone had shot her straight through the heart. Now, I could hold in on this case, not by any client, but by Inspector Morris Caswell of New Scotland Yard. And he didn't come to me for advice, either. He came to shoot questions. And why? I'll tell you. In Leona Laramie's cute little gold-embossed address book, he found my name and my telephone number.
Just a plain, straightforward answer, Troy. That's all I want.
Pete, you don't have to say a thing till we get a lawyer.
Well, thanks for your complete confidence in my innocence, honey bun.
Now, come on, Troy. What was your name doing in her address book?
Well, you're not going to believe me if I say I don't know, are you, Inspector? No, I thought not.
Come on now, Troy.
I never met the lady in question. I can either believe that or he can hold me off with a hoosegow right this instant.
Oh.
Inspector, Leona Laramie really wasn't Pete's type.
You ever see the girl, Julie?
Well, no.
And Troy wears trousers, doesn't he? Yeah, she was his type.
And you have that address book on you?
I have.
May I?
Yeah, I left a marker at the spot.
Oh, no.
That is your name and your phone number, isn't it? No, come on now, Troy.
Look, I'm sorry. I never met the girl.
Don't be coy.
Look, I never
All
even...
right. All right.
Am I a suspect?
You could be. And for the time being, let me just say...
I know. Don't go taking any trips out of town. Goodbye, Inspector.
Bye, Troy.
Oh,
Pete,
I never met the girl.
I believe you.
Well, thanks.
But your name was in her address book. How did it get there?
Well, that's something I'm going to find out, honey.
Oh, now, Pete, why don't you just let the inspector...
Now, take this
do
down
all
before I forget it.
All right.
You ready? Elaine Delorme, Grosvenor 8838. Gustav, Chelsea, 6653. Gilda Jason, Mayfair, 2937. Have you got him?
Uh-huh.
Memorize those names and phone numbers before you grab the book back. And they could give us some sort of a lead.
You can forget Gustav in Chelsea. He's a hairdresser. Very good one, too. When my errand boss has the money to pay me my wages, I go there for a hairdo.
Oh, good.
Pete, why go to all the trouble of following up the others? I've got an unpleasant feeling
Look,
that...
honey bun, Caswell thinks the late Leona Laramie was one of my girlfriends, right? Well, I know that isn't so. Unfortunately. So obviously she took my name down for business reasons. I think Leona wanted to hire herself a private investigator.
And if she wanted the services of a private investigator...
She could have been in some sort of trouble, which in turn could give us some sort of a motive for a murder.
Brilliant.
I think so, too.
So, what's the next step?
Well, we ring up our good friend at the Metropolitan Telephone Exchange, and we get him to find out the addresses of Helene Delorme of Grosvenor 8838, Gilda Jason of Mayfair. What was it?
2937?
Yeah. And I go visiting.
You're not a policeman, Mr. Troy.
No, a private investigator.
Then...
Miss Delorme, my name and phone number were found in Leona's address book. Obviously, she wanted to hire me for some reason. If I could just find out what... Will I say something funny?
Oh, no, but I think there must be some mistake. Why should Leona want the services of a detective? She had no real worries or troubles.
You certain of this?
But of course, I was her closest friend.
No worries or troubles?
Definitely not.
Then why did she end up with a bullet in her heart, Miss Delorme?
I don't know. Oh, I think it was a case of mistaken identity, Mr. Troy. I think the killer was after someone else, and poor Leona... Maybe it's a tragedy.
Yes, it certainly is. You got her address?
Yes, 57 Carlisle Mews, Chelsea.
Oh, she lived there alone?
Yes, but you will not find the name Leonie Laramie on her postbox. Her real name was Mary Struby.
Struby?
Yes, she thought Leona Laramie sounded more exotic, you understand?
Yeah, that figures. Listen, could you give me a list of her immediate friends?
Certainly. Beside you is my telephone number index. You'll find a list of names and numbers in it, Mr. Troy. They're my friends, and they were also Leona's friends. Copy them if you wish.
Oh, thank you. It's quite a list.
I have quite a number of friends and acquaintances, Mr. Troy. Are you looking for any particular number in there?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I am Jason. Gilda Jason. She lives in Mayfair.
Jason?
Yes.
No, I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know any Gilda Jason.
Well, Mr. Lome, if you'd like to help...
Of course.
You could copy out those names and numbers in your book and put them in an envelope and send them to my office.
Certainly.
Well, thanks a lot. I'm sorry to have bothered you.
Oh, you didn't want to ask me any more questions?
No, but if I think of anything...
Please call round.
A director of the Morgan Public.
Well, thanks again, and goodbye for the...
You may go in now, Miss Morgan. Thank you.
Peter Troy, huh?
Good morning, Mr. Troy.
Nice.
Miss Morgan. Oh, please sit down.
Thank you.
No, my secretary said...
I'm here to discuss the Steve Rennick case, Mr. Troy.
Hello, Gustav.
Novels, you know.
This is Elaine
I'm
Delorme.
very sorry to hear of his death.
I should like to make an appointment to have my hair set this afternoon, please.
Oh, forgive me, Miss Morgan. I've been a private investigator.
2:30, excellent. And will you be sure to have Miss Gilda Jason attend to
I'm
me?
investigating the case on behalf of Miss...
That's right, Gilda Jason. She always
I've
looks
been
after
making a lot of
me.
inquiries. Which means you'd have lost the residual rights to his novels. That would have meant a loss of about £250,000.
No good, Bartlett. It's not here. Corrigan, it must be. It has to be.
That was nothing.
We've searched this place from top to bottom. Gilda must have taken it off Leona's body. She's the only person who had the opportunity. The big boy himself could be pulling a double cross. He wouldn't dare. Well, in any case, Gilda Jason's disappeared, isn't she? Isn't that proof enough that she's got it? Oh, I suppose so. So now we've got to find Gilda. I think that... Who the devil? Police? They've already been here looking for her. Who then?
Other motives, Mr.
I think we'd better find out.
Well,
I'll keep you covered,
The police
just
are
in
satisfied.
case.
You should be, too.
And if I'm not?
Do you take a delight in courting trouble, Mr.
I'm looking for
Troy?
Miss Gilda Jason. Is she at home?
Now, that sounds like a...
Gilda Jason?
Yes.
Well,
I'm afraid you must have made some sort of mistake.
Well, no, I checked with the
Forget
janitor
about
downstairs.
investigation.
Well, I'm afraid I can't help
Forget your
you. You
investigation.
see, I've just moved into this
Do me a
apartment.
There's
favor.
£300 here in my bag for
Favor?
you.
Yes, tell your friend with a gun I can see his reflection in the hall mirror.
And if I
Now, if you don't mind, I'll come in.
All right.
Now, just as soon as you tell your playmate to drop his gun. Otherwise, I'm liable to pull the trigger on this one.
You're going to be sorry.
Corrigan.
All
right,
all right.
Well, now that's better.
Attractive men like you.
The place is in quite a mess, isn't it? Spring cleaning
They're
or
the sweetest thing.
just plain looking for something?
Who are you?
Troy, Peter Troy Investigations.
Snooper.
Sticks and stones.
What do you want?
Miss Gilda Jason.
As you can see, she's not here.
That's right. Now it's my turn to ask questions.
Now, just
What are you fellas looking for?
Have this window open in a minute.
There's a law against
Now,
it.
you're not being very cooperative.
Breaking and entering.
So there's a
Your
law.
friends, Miss
I
Jason?
have to get inside.
Troy, why don't you get out while you're still in one piece?
Because I hate puzzles and because I'm looking for a killer.
Troy,
About this, I wouldn't have worn it.
it's your turn to drop the
I
gun.
like tight skirts.
Why?
Because there's someone in that window behind you.
There's also a couple of
One
things
of the
on
oldest
down.
gags in the book.
That.
That one's going to be sucked.
He lived high and wild, didn't he?
You can't say I didn't warn you.
you.
Somewhere here, there's...
Corrigan, you'd better go over to the window and let
you that the police
Gustav
they've
in.
already got.
Don't trust me.
And they're bound to
Yeah. What would
I
they have
heard the
been
window
searching
pane
for?
explode behind me.
There's something else.
Felt a
besides the
sledgehammer
window.
blow on the side of my head. I saw the floor coming up to hit me just before I blacked out.
Looking for another suspect.
Many years passed, and while they were passing, I was living through a nightmare. Someone's name seemed to keep crashing through my mind. Telephone numbers lit up like neon lights.
Look at the
I saw Helene Delorme smiling at me. My ears, I could hear Inspector Caswell's voice droning on and on.
Page 148.
Only that wasn't part of the nightmare, that was real. Took me quite a time to realize I was coming out of it and that I was still alive.
He has the luck of the very devil. By rights, he should be stone cold dead.
In the market
either.
Lucky the bullet hit his head and not somewhere vital.
Peter, you all right? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Well, Rennick must have collected them like
Are you all
other
right?
No.
upstairs.
Yeah, look at this.
Found that fellow with the pneumatic drill to lay off.
Look at the line I just...
Not a sound, Troy. This place is as quiet as the grave.
Don't mention that word.
The manuscript
Now,
isn't being
you going to do some
typed.
talking?
How did you get
My
here?
girl, you
The
very
janitor reported a gunshot to the police. What happened?
visitors.
Well, I came to visit a lady.
Gilda Jason.
The window coming in from the fire escape.
Instead, I found two characters ransacking it.
Started somehow.
One of them was armed. The third must have sneaked up outside the window there in the fire escape. He didn't wait to open the window before he pulled the trigger.
Good job he didn't. His blast must have deflected the shot.
Okay, I think it's time. We
Who were the men?
And they're getting away, too.
Names.
Ah.
But Miss Jason had already disappeared.
Yes, I could have told you that. We've already checked. She hasn't been here since Leona Laramie was killed. Neither has she been to the place of work.
My hairdresser, Gustav of Chelsea.
Gustav?
Yes, and we'd very much like to know how a hairdresser assistant can afford to live in a Mayfair apartment.
Gustav, that's the name.
What are you talking about?
Just before I passed out, one of the characters mentioned a man's name. It was Gustav.
You can be certain
He was the
of
one
thing.
outside the window, the one that
This
shot me.
definitely wasn't behind the Peter Troy.
Inspector, I tell you,
You better look after your wandering boy.
Maybe
He's a little delirious.
Either way, it didn't make
Come
much
on,
difference.
Peter, I've got your car.
His
Oh,
apartment
Troy,
had to
just
be
before you
destroyed.
go, I'd like a
Whether a
description of
petrol
those
fire is a good way of destroying anything.
Well, one of them I'd
including
seen
yours
before.
truly,
The other
plus
one
private
called him
secretary.
Corrigan.
In just 2 minutes, that whole place
Any
was a
celebrity
raging
named
inferno.
Corrigan?
The flames cut off our
That's
retreat to the
an
window and
entrepreneur
fire
called
escape.
Corrigan.
On top of that, Inspector Mellenby's boys had put a police seal on the front door. And life was just a little more than tedious just then.
Like the one
There was
Leona
no
Laramie
mood for any
Now,
jokes
Troy,
about
you better
barbecue
keep
private
out of
eyes.
Ah, so you know more than you're telling, Inspector. I've got a personal stake in this case now. I don't like guys taking pot shots at the end of the windows.
What do you know, Troy?
Very little. I'm adding to it all the time.
I've had a man on your tail. He saw you going to Helene Delorme's place. Find out anything there?
Except she's alive.
Oh.
I saw three names in that address book you showed me. Helene Delorme's, Gilda Jason's, and Gustav's. Together with their phone numbers.
I didn't start.
Helene Delorme said she'd never heard of the Jasons. But in her phone index, there were two phone numbers beside the name Gustav.
You or organized
These two numbers, Troy?
One was Gustav's
I can
HFC, the other
explain,
number
but
was,
nobody's going to believe me. However, I would like to know how Miss Morgan got into the act.
937.
She got onto the scene very quickly, didn't she?
So how come she has Gilda's phone number?
We
in her
all
book and she says
concentrate
she
on
doesn't
trying
know
to
the
put out
guy?
this fire until the
Hence I
party
came
gate
straight round
arrives.
here.
After that, you've got some questions to answer,
She
Troy.
nearly stuck the bullet. Now, how about you getting a few of these singular inspector?
We've got a name for our friend this time, Troy. His real
You
name
expect me to believe a
Emile
cock and bull
Delorme.
story like that, Troy?
Yes.
It
That's
happened
right.
to be the truth.
He's Helene's husband.
Intruder of yours, was it male or female?
Lorme
I
operates
couldn't
one of the
tell. The
biggest
room was in
diamond
darkness.
smuggling syndicates
Anyway,
in
they
the
didn't actually
world.
come into the room, Inspector.
Yeah, we've
Just
been on
shoved
his
up
tail
the
for
window
months.
and poured petrol over the carpet.
Recently,
Well,
he
I don't
joined
think there
forces
was
with
any
Joseph
intruder.
Corrigan and a newspaper
I think this
man
is all a
called Harry
figment of their
Barnes.
very fertile imagination.
London's
Now, don't you
headquarters.
start.
And from here,
I'd
they
still like to know what you were
distributed
doing on the
gems to
scene,
just
Miss
about
Morgan.
every
She was
family
with
in the
me,
world.
Troy.
Now,
She'd requested
carriers.
permission to get Rennick's half-finished manuscript.
Honey buns and
Laramie,
homicide.
for instance.
What's
That's
that?
right.
Well, that was the title of it.
A trip round the world is part of the prize.
Right again.
I don't know.
Well, when we
Just a
found
minute.
Anna's body, Troy, it was minding
Yes,
one of
listen
the
to this.
high-heeled shoes.
This is a copy of Janine Lee's statement
shoe.
after we arrested her. Steve Rennick's last words were,
He was the last
too
person to
late,
see Leona
honey buns
alive.
and homicide.
Those two fellas,
baby.
Corrigan and Bartlett,
Honey
were
buns
researching
and
the place for that
homicide.
shoe.
Well, he must have
Gilda
been so
stolen
negative to mention
So
the name of
you
his book
figure
and the
things out
dying
from there,
breath.
Troy, because that's as far as we've got.
Miss Morgan, what do you intend to do with the manuscript? Half a book isn't much use to anyone, is it?
We'll have one of our staff writers finish it.
Staff writers? You employ staff writers?
Well, there are a couple of people we can call on.
Either of them worked for Steve Rennick before?
Yes, one of the proofreaders.
A girl?
Troy, I don't
Just a
see-
minute, Inspector. There's a reason for this, believe me. One of them is a girl, eh, Miss Morgan?
Yes.
Name?
Good evening.
Well, Miss Morgan?
Helen Fremont.
I've been waiting a long
She used
time.
to do a lot of secretarial work for Steve.
You know I was...
Inspector,
Yeah,
I suggest we go
obviously,
talk to the lady.
May I
Corrigan
remind
and
you that you're
Bartlett
under
social
arrest?
department.
Okay, but I've got a hunch.
I don't give a hoot about your hunches.
Oh, come now, Inspector. You know about people with hunches. There have been a couple of times in the past when they've refused quite a lot.
That'll be enough from you.
Now, where do we find Helen Fremont, Miss Morgan?
Her brother owns a cellar club
A
in Soho.
discarded copy
The
of the
Carlisle.
classified section of the London
She
Daily
spends a
Tribune.
lot of time there.
In the flat red column, we found some addresses ticked off. Here, they told me that a young lady answering your description had been displaced just 2 days ago.
Gustav, if you
I'm
want
sorry,
to die...
Mr. Troy, we don't have six. I'm not a customer, Mr. Fremont. I just wanted to have a chat with your sister. Helen is here, isn't she?
Leona's idea.
Who
She
wants
was
to
getting
know?
scared.
Peter
I knew that.
Troy. Just tell her it's about Janine Lee and Steve Rennick. She'll understand. Now, look, tell her.
Yes.
I'll be watching
The
you,
sound of the
Troy. You do
tumultuous
that.
applause from her admiring audience muffled the sound of the shot. I find that ironic.
She said she was getting out. She asked me to come with her.
Taking the diamond hidden in her shoe.
If you're Helen
She
Fremont.
had to have money.
It's another
You know
diamond.
what I
I
like
worry
about this
about
case?
Gilda.
It's just oozing
The
with
fact that you
pulchritude.
double-crossed me.
You know what pulchritude means?
I
It
knew
means
about Leona.
feminine glamour.
But you
Then, of
were
course,
a
you
deep
know what the
shot.
word means. After all, you're a writer, aren't you?
You and your
Hardly.
wife.
Oh, but I heard
all that
different.
time,
Makes
What do you
it all
mean?
the
The
more
truth.
hurtful, my dear.
I found it's an elusive thing. Much
Now
more
I must
elusive
really
than
set you up
that
as
perfume
an
you're wearing.
example
What
to
are
the
you
others who
driving
work
at,
for me.
Mr. Troy?
Didn't anyone ever tell you about that perfume, Helen?
No, what
It doesn't become you at all.
No.
It's too
You had such a good
thick
job.
and heavy.
Personal head
And it's like a
various
trademark.
beauty queens
What do you mean?
Rennick's apartment reeked of it the night he was killed. The manuscript of his half-finished novel reeks of it, too.
What are you talking about?
Honey buns and homicide.
But
And I don't mean the title of the book
No,
either.
I just want to get
Helen?
out.
But no one
I think there's
ever
going to
gets
be.
out
You'd
of
better tell that fella to keep away from me. I don't like his face.
Not a lie.
I'm liable to want to change the shape of it. Now, you... Oh. If you see what I mean.
You want to get away with
No, Harry, we don't want any trouble.
Yeah, but...
What do you want
I
to
don't
do,
know what you're
Troy?
talking about. Gustav is
Confession.
merely my hairdresser.
And he left here only 15 minutes ago.
This isn't a joke, Miss Fremont. You killed Steve Rennick.
saw him come in here.
She
Did
was
I?
mistaken.
He's
Tell me about it.
First, I'll tell you this. Steve Rennick was no writer. His whole life, he only wrote one book, the first one.
You better do some talking because
That caught the public's eye, and it was a bestseller. But he couldn't maintain the standard.
Mr. Troy.
Now, his name was made, but he just didn't have the talent to write another novel.
Then who wrote the others?
You did. You were his ghostwriter. Oh, don't deny it.
fired at me by your husband.
Melissa Morgan spilled the beans down to Scotland Yard.
All right, so I won't deny it.
Understand what that means?
I wrote all Steve's books after that first one.
Good.
But that doesn't mean I
Nothing to
killed
do
him.
with her death.
In this country, as an accessory, you get the same
What?
punishment as a
Let's
killer.
look at the facts for a
Now,
minute.
I'm getting impatient.
Now, it'd have to be someone who knew their way around Steve's apartment.
Gilda Jason.
Someone who knew where everything was
Cockland
kept.
Street, St. John's Wood.
All right.
His gun, for
One last
instance.
thing. How come my address...
Just before you pulled that stunt with the petrol and
Work
matches,
for my husband.
Oh,
I was searching his apartment.
She was frightened. She
Now, he
wanted to
kept
leave
his
us.
gun in his bureau
She knew
drawer.
Gustav never allowed
And it
anyone
was
to leave his employment.
So,
So, apart from
Obviously,
Steve,
she
only
wanted
one
to hire
other
a private
person would have the key to
investigator as a
that drawer.
bodyguard.
The girl who was not only his ghostwriter,
That made
but his
him think she
part-time
was
secretary.
dead when I went.
You.
My name and Leona's notebook.
that's not evidence.
Now, coming back to
Why
that
else to
fire.
me? You've got to
Now, the
give me some
person who broke
protection.
in through that window didn't even use a torch, and the room was pitch black. Therefore, the intruder knew her way around. Knew where every stick of furniture was. You.
He killed me.
You're the one that fits.
He killed her.
And then we come to the reason behind the fire.
Oh, yes, the fire. Tell me about that, Mr. Troy.
That manuscript beside Rennick's typewriter was written on another machine. Now, that's logical, isn't it?
Of course. As I wrote the books, it's obvious that the manuscripts would be written on my own machine.
Right. Page 149 was on the roller of his machine.
He always kept the last page in his typewriter so that any visitor would assume he was working on it.
Oh, is that so?
You have no imagination.
But then again, on the sideboard next to the front door, we found the remains of some more of the manuscript. Yes, ma'am. Pages 150 to 163.
So?
You dropped those pages into him the day before yesterday. Just a few seconds before you pulled the trigger and killed him.
You're crazy.
He couldn't do the usual routine of slipping the last page into his machine. Because he was dead.
You can prove all this.
Oh, I don't have to. Now, the police are going to look after that part of it. But I haven't finished yet, either. We still have to find a motive.
Then can you?
Well, I can try. How does this fit? There was something else in that apartment which had to be destroyed. The original manuscript of Steve Rennick's very first novel. The one he wrote himself. And why did that have to be destroyed? Because he wrote a dedication on the front page, didn't he? It read, "For Helen, my devoted wife." And that's you, isn't it?
No. You're making a mistake.
That's why you tolerated him stealing all your glory. You had to do it. His publishers wanted it that way, didn't they? And they still want it that way. Because by now, Steve Rennick's name sells his novels just as much as their plot lines. But you'd have enough of them, hadn't you?
You don't know what it was like. No one could know.
Janine Lee?
That was the one he was falling in love with. The others didn't count. They were nothing. But Janine Lee. Yes, I killed Steve. And I'd do it again.
Okay, Troy. So now you've got the story.
I sure have, Buster.
But you're not going to live to repeat any of what you just found out.
Troy, don't be a fool. Put away that...
Out of the way, Helen. Steve got everything he deserved. And now this nosy...
Drop that gun, Fremont.
Why, you...
Please drop that gun.
Oh, I meant to tell you, Ellen. The police came in here with me. I had to. You see, I'm still under arrest for unlawful entry.
Oh,
Careful, Troy.
It's okay, Inspector. You only got him in the shoulder. Did you get all that?
Yes, the sergeant got it all down in shorthand. All right, you'll have to come with us, Mrs. Rennick. You too, Fremont.
Mrs. Rennick. No one's called me that in a long time.
Just to tie up the ends for you, Helen was in Steve's apartment all the time. All the time Janine was there anyway. She heard the row, every word of it. And that was the final straw. She'd already taken his gun, so the thought of killing him wasn't a new one. As soon as Janine went into the other room to powder her nose, Helen came on out of the closet, shot Rennick, threw the gun on the floor, and lit out, leaving the repentant redhead to take the rap. As for the fire, well, it was the only way she could get rid of that evidence without attracting suspicion to herself. And as for Melissa Morgan, well, she wanted the secret kept. Her company had too much at stake. She wasn't at all keen on having me delving around looking for the truth. I was bound to find out about Helen Rennick being Steve's ghost. Well, what with ghosts and gals and honey buns and homicide, it was quite a case, wasn't it?